Hello, boys and girls. My name is Corlene Mapes, Mrs. Mapes, and welcome back to George and Willy's World. I'm so glad you're back with us again. It's been a long time since I have been here, as we all have been here, so I'm really glad to see you at home joining us again. We have Willy here, and George, and Mrs. Kranz. And a lot has probably happened with you. What has been going on with you, Mrs. Kranz?
Well, George is busy working again. On Tuesday morning, she goes to Alta Sierra School, and she's working with Miss Wallace's second grade class and also with the resource class. And Wednesday afternoon, she's at Madeline Helling Library in Nevada City. And if the boys and girls would like to read to George or maybe show her a picture book, they can have their parents call the librarian, the children's librarian, and sign up for a spot to read with George.
So is she busy most days? How long does it take usually to read a book? And how long is the sign-up periods where they sign up for every half hour or every hour? Or?
She's there from 4 to 5, and usually about 8 children will either read to her or show her a picture book. So it just depends on the level of the reader.
8 children?
Yeah, usually about 8.
Wow, and she just sits there
Yep.
and listens to them read. How wonderful. Well, Willy does that too, but he gets up and gets a little more excited. Today he came to my classroom and enjoyed the children there. He was excited to see the children because it was the second time he's been with them this year.
Right.
So otherwise, Willy's just been taking walks and going to work with his dad, building houses. So he's also, a side job for Willy is building houses. And he's tired, obviously, now. So, but Willy comes to school with me at Hennessy School in my 3rd grade class, and the children there were very excited to see him. Also, if you haven't noticed, both of the dogs have new collars on. It's kind of fall, so Willy has a fall collar. Looks like a little leaves, and it looks like George has her Halloween collar on. They're really cute. And I don't know if you can see that. So it blends in with his fur. I'm sorry. So boys and girls, today I'm so glad you're back with us. Today we are going to talk about magic. I don't know if any of you have ever tried magic tricks. I wish I could be as good as our guest today is. Our guest today makes magic look easy. In fact, I don't know if you know this, but magic is make-believe. It isn't real, but some people are so good at showing magic tricks that it looks real. Even though it may not look real to your eyes, they're like tricks to your eyes. So our guest today is going to tell us all about what he knows about magic tricks. And please welcome Mr. Peter
Franchino.
Franchino. Thank you so much, and come and have a seat.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about magic and how you got involved in it and interested in it, and when you started doing magic tricks.
Well, we had a couple of children. I had a father-in-law who just loved giving me the craziest Christmas presents he could find. And one year, he must have spent all year collecting the little tricks out of Cracker Jack boxes, the little toys and games and tricks. And that year, that was my gift for Christmas. He had a whole box of tricks that he had collected. So I got some tricks out of the Cracker Jack boxes. I got a magic hat, a cape, and a magic wand. And that was my introduction to the world of magic. I was playing with them at Christmas time, and our daughter, who was about this big at the time, said, Daddy, do a magic show for my birthday party. And both of our birthdays are in January. So I went to the library and started reading books, learned how to do a couple of real tricks, used a couple of the games from the Cracker Jack boxes, and we had a magic show for my daughter's birthday. And that started me on my hobby. It's a fun hobby. It's one that all can learn, because I do teach this at the various grammar schools in the area, in the enrichment programs. And it is just, it's marvelous. It's fun watching the young people watch their eyes just light up when they learn how to do something with their hands.
Yes. You also come to Hennessy School and do magic tricks you have for the past couple of years, and the children are just so enthralled and watching. And they don't know how you do it, and it looks so real, as if it isn't make-believe.
Well,
but magic is make-believe.
I tell folks that if it looks like it's impossible, it simply means that these 10 little fingers are going faster than your 2 little eyes.
And they do. They go much faster. So how long have you been practicing magic then?
Oh my, 35 years.
So will you show the children at home possibly one trick that they might be able to do?
Well, what I brought today was something they can help me with. I don't know if they'll be able to do it at home, but there are so many different illusions that can be done at home. Let me show you something.
Yes, I would love to
Oops,
see it.
Excuse me.
Here, Willie, down. Down.
Because I know young people like to color. And to start, what we're going to do is everybody thinks all magicians have fun doing card tricks. My favorite card tricks are done with cards with a red back, but I just happen to have a blue deck here. So what we're going to do is, we'll change that blue deck into a package of crayons.
Wow.
So that we can actually get started with the trick I actually bought to show the children. And kids, you can all help me, and big folks. What I want you to do is I'm going to take out of the box of crayons, is my favorite color is red. Now everybody reach up, pretend now, gang. Grab your favorite color out of the air. Come on, big people too. Everybody grab a color, that's right. And hold your crayon like so. Then what we're going to do, when I ask you to start, we're just going to pretend to color in the air. And what we're going to do is, you can see we have a coloring book of magic. And we're going to color all of these pictures that are in the book. All right, on the count of 3. 3, go ahead and start coloring. Everybody, come on, kids out there in TV land, let's pretend you're coloring. Oh, you stay in the lines. Come on, everybody stay in the lines. Okay, crayons down. I think with that many of us, we've colored all of these pictures about as fast as we're going to do that. Let's see how we've done.
Wow.
And as you can see, you've colored all of the pictures with the various colors in your imagination. Now what we're going to do, everybody put your crayons down on the table or on the floor, wherever you're sitting, and put your hand up here. Now we're going to erase the colors. Now you're going to use your imagination to erase the colors. Now I've seen this happen before. I've seen young people's minds go blank. So erase the colors as hard as you can. Concentrate and erase. Okay, that's good. I think that's good enough. Let's see if you've gotten rid of the colors.
Wow.
Oh my, you not only got rid of the colors, but you got rid of the lines, you got rid of the pictures, you got rid of everything. And that's what magic is, using your imagination to do fun tricks like that.
That was wonderful, and you tricked me.
Well, that's why we get paid the big bucks.
You must. You're also going to be reading us a magic story about a magic bed.
Yes, I am.
So I really would like for you to get started reading your story. And if we have some time after the story and after our craft, could you show us some more magic tricks?
Absolutely. That's my favorite thing.
That's great. Boys and girls at home, are you ready to listen to Magician Peter? Because I sure am. George and Willie, are you ready?
I think
Are
so.
you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
We're going to be reading a story this afternoon from The Magic Bed. The story is about a little boy by the name of Georgie. That bed is far too small for you now, Georgie. Why don't you and Frank go down to the shopping center and buy a new one, said Georgie's granny. On the way to the shopping center, Georgie saw a shop that sold old furniture. Look, Frank, said Georgie, maybe they'll have a bed in there. They parked the car and went into the shop. Do you have a bed that would be right for this boy, said Frank. Beds, beds, yes, I do have a little old bed somewhere, said the man. After some time, the man found the bed. The lady this bed came from said it was magic, and that you could travel in it. Frank and Georgie bought the bed. They tied the bed to the top of the car and took it home. Georgie and Frank cleaned the bed all over. Look, Georgie, said Frank, there's some writing here. It's very faint. What does it say, said Georgie. It says, in this bed you will travel far. First say your prayers and then say, I can't read the last word. It says, M something, 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 Y. What on earth have you got there, said Georgie's granny. Why did you get that awful bed? Why didn't you go to the shopping center and buy a new one? It's a lovely bed, said Georgie, and it's magic. You can travel in it. That evening, Georgie got ready for bed early. He said his prayers and then tried to say the magic word. He tried money, Maddie, mummy, Murky, Molly, Mandy, Millie, Messy, Minty, Mousy, but nothing happened and Georgie went to sleep. How did you get on last night in your magic bed? Did you go to the moon or up the Amazon? His granny asked him at breakfast. That night, Georgie went to bed again and tried to guess the magic word. He must have gotten it right because suddenly he was traveling way over the city. Georgie's bed landed in a field. Lots of gnomes and fairies arrived and he read them a bedtime story. At breakfast the next day, Georgie decided not to tell anyone about where he had been during the night. That evening, Georgie was off again. This time he was traveling over the jungle. Georgie came across a young tiger that was lost. It had wandered away from its parents and didn't know how to get back home. He took the young tiger back to its mother and father, who were very pleased that Georgie had found their child. On one of his journeys, Georgie found a chest full of treasure in a cave. But there were some pirates who were very angry because they thought the treasure was theirs. And they chased Georgie down to the beach. And he only just managed to escape. Some nights, Georgie would go for a swim with the dolphins, which is why his bed was sometimes wet in the mornings. Another night, Georgie gave a lift to some geese that were very tired because they had flown a long way. Then he raced against some witches. Then came the day that they were off on their holidays. They waved goodbye to Georgie's granny and set off. While they were away, Georgie forgot all about his magic bed. The holiday soon came to an end, and they all came home. "There's a lovely present for you, Georgie. It's in your room," said his granny. Georgie rushed up to his room, and there in the corner was a brand new bed. "What have you done with my magic bed?" said Georgie. "Oh, that nasty old bed went down to the dump today," said Granny. Georgie raced out of the house, down the steps, and along the road to the dump. He just managed to get through the gates as the dump was closing. There, on top of a dumpster, was Georgie's magic bed. Georgie climbed up into the dumpster. He jumped onto his bed, said the magic word, and the bed rose quickly into the sky. Now, if you lie very still in your bed and find your magic word, perhaps you could travel far away like Georgie.
I think all of us travel far away in our dreams. Doesn't have to just be a magic bed. I know I do.
Our imagination
Our
is
imagination.
a wonderful thing to play with. That's
yes.
right.
Well, please stay right there.
All right.
Mrs. Kranz and myself are going to show a couple of crafts. And you can stay there, Willy. We'll be right over here. Well, boys and girls, these are such wonderful crafts that we have today. And one of them from this thing right here that you would find outside in your backyard or in your, down through the woods, anywhere, a stick can turn into a magic wand. That's something you might be able to even use. And all it is with string or wrapping paper or any kind of tissue paper, and there's beads and ribbons. What you've done is some glue, and we wrapped it around the stick, and then with some tissue paper we glued it onto the handle. And then up here, all this is with beads is just a paper clip that was unwound and had beads put on it. And then ribbon come out. And then afterwards, to make it this shiny color, in my classroom what I'll do is I'll put some Elmer's glue or some white glue and a little bit of water and mix it together, and then I brush it on with the Elmer's glue with a little bit of water, and you let it dry and it comes out shiny just like this. Or you can go to a craft store and they have things there that make it shiny like this, but it's a lot more expensive than a little bit of white glue and water. But isn't that something? I now have a magic wand. And with this magic wand, I'm going to do some magic tricks. So I am going to touch my magic wand right here, and I'm going to have it go over. And Mrs. Kranz, would you mind, while I'm slowly going over this, would you paint the background and see what comes? Boys and girls at home, what do you think is up in the sky with a moon? Well, let's find out.
What's happening?
My. Look at that. Boys and girls at home, that's magic. Right before your eyes. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
There's stars. And then when you've done it like that, you just dot it with the towel to take off that excess. We just did this in my class today.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The boys and girls in my class.
It is magic.
It is magic. They were wondering, that's why my fingers and my hands are all purple. We used purple instead of blue.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Let's get the moon. Great.
And let's talk about how we can do this then. I'll put my magic wands aside because now it's fixed. So what I've done is you can do it with your free hand, your imagination, but these are just stars cut out of some plastic. And on a board, on a piece of white paper, I'll take, it's called crayon resist or wax resist, and you can use any color you want. But if you want the stars to be white, you take the crayon and you can color inside. Now when you color inside, you have to do it really hard, because if you don't do it real hard and if you don't get it full, it won't come out as well as these. So let me show you one that I do real hard and one that I don't do hard, and I'll see if you can see the difference. So there's one real hard, and here's one that I'm barely going to just do. And let's see if we can see. I'll take this paper towel and put it underneath the difference. One thing about crayon resist is you want to really paint it hard. Notice that one and notice that one. Do you see the difference between the two? So when you do this crayon resist or wax resist, you want to make sure that you color it real hard. See the difference? So that's a trick that I've learned I'm passing on to you. And you can do crayon resist with any color. You can use them with reds and oranges and blues depending on what you want to do. I'm going to do one real quick with, maybe you've seen one. This is going to be a pumpkin. Remember, you have to get all of the things. I'll give it a green stem and some leaves. So even if it's got a color, look at how nice it comes out when you go over it. So any color crayon resist looks really nice. You want to keep some of that color there, don't you? So just remember, boys and girls, crayon resist is a lot of fun. You can do it with just about anything. Do you have a couple more magic tricks for us?
I could do that.
I would love to see it. And boys and girls, I think you would like to see those too. So just remember, magic wand and crayon resist. And you can create anything and surprise your family and friends with things that appear before their very eyes. Have you ever done crayon resist?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I'm going
it's
to try
fun.
it now.
Yes.
How would you ladies like to help me?
I'd love to.
And I have my own
Helen,
wand that I made.
I'm going to let
Not
you.
as fancy as
Okay.
this right here. But could I get one of you to stand right here over the trap door? No, just teasing. No trap door. And one of you to stand right here.
All right.
Oop, in fact, I'll get here.
Oh.
I'll bring this around
Right
over
here.
and, okay.
Okay.
I'll step over this.
And if I could, one of you who has checked that wand out, make sure it doesn't come apart, that that's a real rope. And if one of you just has a ring on that I might use.
If I can get it off.
Uh-oh.
I can't get it off.
I
Uh-oh,
don't have a ring.
Do we have a ring in the audience? I just don't want to use my own because you'll think it's fake if...
Can tell we have a lot of rings
Uh-oh,
here, huh?
there it
you
comes.
go.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
This is a real strong
We're going to do
rope.
that right there, a real strong rope.
Yes.
And what we're going to do is take this ring and we're going to put it right there on the rope, just like so. And we're going to make sure that it's right there in the middle of the rope, right in my hand. I hope you can all see that. Now, if I could just take that, that's a real wand
It's a
there.
real wand.
And we're going to take the ring on the rope, turn it over. Now, if I could get you, if you would just hold the end of that rope, if you would just hold the end of that rope, and what we're going to do is tap it one time with the wand, and then I'm going to rub the wand over the rope and over the ring, find the soft spot in the rope, and then what we're going to do is lift the wand up, and we'll see that the ring has come off of the rope and on the wand,
Thank you.
just like so. And that's just
and we have to let go of the rope.
Right.
Or you
and
can't
you
get your
have to,
hand
or
out.
I can't get my hand out. That's right.
Wow, that is
All right,
exciting.
and that's fun when you get folks to help you. Let me do
Yes.
one all
Oh,
by
I'd
myself
love-
this time.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, wow.
This is a fun one. It's an old classic. Actual clothesline. And again, just regular short piece of rope, medium piece of rope, and a long piece of rope. And the idea of this illusion, now this one is called the Professor's Nightmare.
And I'm gonna while you.
Professors can't even figure it out. You guys get to watch from behind. You keep us on camera, just like so. Small, medium, and long. And the idea of the illusion is to make it look like they're all the same size. So we're going to take the small one, the medium one, and the long one. And I do it the easy way because I don't have a whole lot of assistants
While
to
you.
help me professionally. So I'm just going to put the ends together. And the more I put the ends together, the more they start looking like they're going to loop over upon themselves. I had a fellow sitting in the audience one day and he said, "Hey, you're at the end of your rope and they're not the same yet." When you're at the end of your rope and they're not the same yet, you grab it right here in the middle, give a tug, and they appear to be the same size.
Wow. And,
Now-
and boys and girls, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for
Okay.
coming, Magician
Thank
Peter.
you for inviting me.
And don't forget to check the NCTV community calendar for any upcoming activities. And also, please write us at 235 South Auburn Street in Grass Valley, 95945. Attention, George and Willy's World. Until next time, listen to lots of story, do your jobs, including brushing your teeth, and have fun playing. And thank you so much for coming.
Appreciate it. Thank you.